You're lying there again, staring at the ceiling. Heart beating, but nothing feels real inside. Like you're just running. Like you could disappear and nobody would notice. There's this emptiness bone deep, cold and relentless, swallowing you from the inside out. You scroll your phone, you check for messages that never come, and you wonder where the hell all your feelings went. You weren't always like this. Once you were alive. You laughed, you felt things. You had hope, you had energy, you had color. Then came the narcissist. They didn't look like a monster at first. Sometimes they looked perfect. Sometimes they looked broken in a way that made you want to fix them. You know the type, the one who makes you feel like you're the most important person in the world, and then slowly makes you feel like you're nothing. That's what they do. They hollow you out and wear your spirit like a trophy. Why do you feel dead inside after dealing with them? Because a narcissist is a thief, but not the kind who takes your stuff and runs. No, they're more brutal than that. They steal your feelings, your confidence, your sense of reality. They take your life and feed on it, leaving behind a shell. You start with hope. You start with excitement. You start with that stupid, stubborn belief that people are basically good, that love is supposed to feel safe. You open your heart. You give. You give more. You give everything. And at first, they make you feel like you're the sun itself. They reflect you back brighter, bolder, important. It's high-octane, addictive, intoxicating. You want more and more. You lose yourself in the rush of being seen, being noticed, being loved. But then the weather changes. You start to notice little jabs, small put-downs. The compliments start to sound like insults with sugar on top. You're so emotional, it's cute. No one else would put up with you. They roll their eyes when you talk about your dreams. They forget things on purpose. They twist your words. You try harder. You love harder. You make excuses for them in your head. Maybe they had a rough day. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I am too sensitive. You don't realize it, but you're giving away pieces of yourself every time you let it slide. Every time you apologize for something you didn't do. Every time you swallow your anger, convince yourself you misunderstood. You trade your truth for the hope of their approval. You rewrite your memory. You start to forget what you deserve. They're never satisfied, are they? They're always needing more. Attention, praise, obedience. You exist as a mirror for them, but they never look back at you. If you stop shining them in the right light, they sulk, punish, abandon. They give you silence, make you beg for scraps. At some point you notice the color bleeding out of your world. The music's flat. Your hunger's gone. You laugh, but it sounds hollow even to you. Sleep gets weird. You toss and turn, mind spinning. You replay their words, their sighs, the way their eyes changed when you finally tried to stand up for yourself. You blame yourself over and over for feeling too much, for being too needy, for wanting more than they're willing to give. You feel empty because, truthfully, you've been emptied, little by little, story by story, memory by memory. One day you look in the mirror and you don't recognize the eyes staring back. There's no spark there. You never wanted to be this version of yourself, paranoid, sad, jumpy, cold. You flinch at kindness. You crave alone time, but when you're actually alone, you just drift. Friends text and you stare at the phone, feeling absolutely nothing. You used to care. Now you just exist. It didn't happen overnight. It was a slow burn, like ice spreading through your veins. It's not just sadness. It's numbness, a quiet horror movie that nobody else can see. You start to wonder if you'll ever care about anything again. That's the poison. That's what they leave you with. They don't just hurt you, they change you at the atomic level. Your confidence drains out. Your ability to trust your own gut is gone. Your sense of self-worth, ground up and fed to the dogs. They replace your laugh, your hope, your hunger with a flat grey static. Eventually, you stop fighting it. You just go through the motions. Wake up, survive, sleep, repeat. And here's the sick truth. You're not lazy or broken or crazy. You're a survivor of psychological warfare. The reason you feel dead inside, because you've been emotionally starved for so long that your mind shut down the feelings just to protect you. The numbness isn't weakness. It's a shield, battered and dented, but still doing its job. It's your mind saying, enough, no more pain. But here's the thing, you don't have to live like this forever. The emptiness is not your destiny. It's a symptom, a wound, not an identity. You can get it back. Your spark, your laugh, That weird joy you used to feel over stupid little things. It's not gone. It's hiding, hibernating, waiting for you to claim it. Tonight, as you stare at the ceiling, remember this. You're not alone in the dark. There's a way back from the dead. There's a path out of the numbness. It starts with the truth that this feeling isn't truly who you are. It's what happened to you, and you can take it back, piece by piece, breath by breath. This time the story's about you, not them. Not what they took, but what you reclaim. You might not even remember the moment you started going numb. It creeps up quiet like a slow leak in your soul. You wake up one day and you realize you haven't laughed in weeks. Or you hear an old song and feel nothing. Food tastes bland. The world feels washed out like an old photograph left in the sun. This is what happens when you've been used as someone else's emotional feeding tube. Narcissists don't just want your attention, they want your spirit. They want your reactions, your anger, your confusion, your love, especially your love, because they don't really have any of those things inside themselves. They're a vacuum. And you, just by being good and real and whole, are the perfect target. They start with the little things, pushing your boundaries, seeing what you'll tolerate. It's just a joke, relax. Or the classic, you took that the wrong way. You flinch, but you don't want to be the problem, so you swallow it. Your body says, no, this isn't okay. But your mind says, don't make waves. That's the wedge. You split from yourself. From that first compromise, the rot sets in. After enough of that, you stop trusting your reactions. You start to believe their stories about you. Maybe I am too dramatic. Maybe I am hard to love. They say it enough that it sinks into your skin. You used to know how you felt about things. Now you wait to see their reaction so you know how to feel. You look at their face to see if you're angry or sad or happy, because somewhere along the way, your inner compass got magnetized to their chaos. And when you try to talk about it, when you try to ask, why does it feel like this? They turn it around. Gaslighting. They roll their eyes. Are you really still upset about that? Or worse, you're so sensitive it's exhausting. Soon you're apologizing for having feelings at all. You stop bringing things up. You stop asking for the treatment you deserve. That's when the emptiness starts. Because you're not sharing your real self anymore. You've built a wall inside. The parts of you that needed love, needed safety, needed respect, they all go into hiding. You only bring out the versions of yourself that won't get you in trouble. The funny you, the agreeable you. Less and less of you shows up until one day you realize the only person left is the one wearing the mask. It happens gradually, and it's hard to notice from the inside. You still go out, you do your job, you pay your bills, but behind your eyes there's just nothing. Not sadness, not anger, not even resentment, just cold, grey nothing. You want to cry, but the tears don't come. You try to get mad and it fizzles out. You're so used to being numb that feeling anything, joy, hope, even pain, seems dangerous. Here's what you have to understand. This is what happens when your needs have been denied for too long. Your brain shuts the whole system down because it's safer to feel nothing than to keep being hurt. You're in emotional lockdown. It's not your fault. It's not your weakness. It's a survival skill. Your mind and body are trying to protect you the only way they know how. You might even start to hate yourself for it. Why can't I just snap out of it, you ask? But you can't, not just by wishing. The numbness is telling you something important. You've been wounded in a place deeper than words. This isn't a quick fix kind of wound. It's a slow poison, and it takes time, real time, to draw it out. You probably notice you're more tired than usual. Not just, I stayed up too late tired, but a why bother heavy tired. Motivation evaporates. The things you used to love, drawing, running, singing, even just zoning out to music, don't pull you anymore. You get into bed and maybe you don't want to get back out. Or you sleep, but you never feel rested. That's what emotional starvation does. It makes you wilt from the inside out. And you stop talking to people. Not because you don't care, but because it takes too much energy to pretend you're okay. You can't explain the numbness. You can't put words to the cold, empty ache where your hope used to be. So you pull away and the loneliness gets sharper until you feel almost transparent there, but not there. But here's the truth. Buried underneath the numbness is every part of you that the narcissist tried to erase. The real you didn't die. It just went underground. It's waiting, listening, watching for signs that it's safe to come out again. That's your spark, that's your hope. You don't have to live like a ghost forever. Every tiny moment of real feeling, every time you let a song touch you or laugh at something stupid on the internet, every time you say, "I don't want this," and mean it, you're cracking open the ice. You're thawing. You're coming back. Tonight, if the emptiness feels too big, remind yourself, numbness is not your home. It's just the body's way of surviving something unnatural. You can heal. You can live again. That dead feeling isn't the end. It's the signal that it's time to start finding your way back. It's the first step, and you're already taking it just by listening, just by noticing, just by wanting more. Let's be honest, some nights, the emptiness is so loud it's deafening. You scroll your feed, watch people laugh, post about their lives, and there's a wall of glass between you and the world. You look in the mirror and the reflection looks back, but feels like a stranger. Your thoughts echo. Is this really me now? Is this all I'll ever feel? That's the deep psychic punch of surviving a narcissist. It's not just about heartbreak. It's a demolition of your sense of self. When someone keeps telling you by word, by silence, by the roll of their eyes that you're too needy, too dramatic, too broken, you start to believe them. You start to see yourself through their eyes. It's not just love that gets stolen. It's self-trust. It's even your sense of realness. At first, you probably fought it. Maybe you argued, tried to show them your view, tried to defend your heart. But the fights always ended the same way, you feeling crazy, guilty, or both. Nothing you did was ever right for long, so you started to edit yourself to preempt the conflict. You held your breath, watched every word, smiled even when you wanted to scream. Over time, you stopped trusting what your gut was telling you. If you can't trust your own feelings, how can you feel anything? This is how numbness takes hold. It's not an absence of feeling, it's the presence of fear. Fear of being wrong, fear of rejection, fear that if you want, need, or speak up, you'll be punished or abandoned. So what do? You shut it all down. You shut down your joy, because what's the point in sharing it if it'll just get ignored or mocked? You shut down your sadness because you know there's no comfort coming, only criticism. You shut down anger because you've learned it's too much. One brick at a time you build the wall. And yeah, it works. You stop getting hurt as much. But you stop feeling everything else too. This is why life feels grey. Why food doesn't taste like food, music doesn't move you, hugs don't warm you, and laughter sounds like it's coming from another room. You're disconnected from your own soul. Because connection only feels safe if who you are is accepted. And a narcissist never gives true acceptance. They just move the goalposts again and again until you fall down exhausted. You might think, why do I keep missing them? Why would I ever want that back? But you don't miss them, not really. You miss the pieces of yourself that you felt in those rare golden moments when they let you feel alive. You miss the hope. You miss who you were before the numbness set in. That's what mourning feels like when you grieve for parts of yourself. But here's the most brutal twist. A narcissist installs an inner voice in your head. Even after they're gone, you hear their doubt, their scorn, their disappointment. The silence isn't silent, it's filled with the ghost of them criticizing you every time you almost feel something. It's not a simple fix, you can't just snap out of it. You're trying to heal a nervous system that's been on red alert for months, maybe years. That takes quiet, that takes time. That takes letting safe people in even when every part of you wants to hide. So tonight, start with this. Be gentle with the numbness. Don't fight it. Don't curse it. Just notice it like, okay, emptiness, I see you. I know why you're here. Because if you can see the numbness without fear, you start to take your power back from it. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're wounded, and deep wounds take time. Start super small. Pour yourself a glass of water and really taste it. Run your hands over something soft and really feel the texture. Step outside, even if it's just for a moment, and notice the air on your skin. These are not cures, but they are signals to your body. I want to wake up. I want to feel again. It's safe to come out. You will not be numb forever. The fact that you feel empty means at your core, you still want more than nothing. That flicker, that tiny, maybe someday, somehow, is the beginning. You survived hell. Now you get to survive your way back to life. So when you lie down to sleep, Don't try to force yourself to snap out of it. Just let yourself rest. Tell yourself, I am here, I exist, I made it through. And for tonight, that is enough. That's how you start to heal the deadness inside. That's how you begin to build a self that no narcissist can ever hollow out again. You know that feeling when you're sitting in a room full of people and you still feel invisible. It's not just shyness, not just a bad day. It's like someone turned the volume down on your life. Everyone is laughing, making plans, talking about things they love. You're just watching. You're floating above yourself, disconnected. You keep thinking, I used to feel things. Where did that go? That ghost feeling is what's left after a narcissist. They took your sparkle and left you a shell. You keep searching for some switch to flip and bring it all back. You want to be present, to care, to laugh and cry and hope. But it's like you're wearing gloves over your heart and your mind. It all feels muffled, distant, numb. And worst of all, you blame yourself. You think, maybe I'm just like this, maybe I'm broken. But let's be brutal here, you can't feel joy when you've been taught it's dangerous. You can't feel at home in your own skin when someone else was always rearranging the furniture inside your mind. You were trained into numbness moment by moment until your body just said, enough. You remember how it started. The rush, the high, the dizzy magic of being chosen. They noticed you. They said you were different, special. And in those early days, you really were more alive. The narcissist mirrors you, you shine, they reflect it back. It feels electric, but it wasn't real. It was a setup. Because once you were hooked, the conditions started. It wasn't enough to be yourself. You had to be what they needed: quiet, helpful, forgiving, fun on command, but never sad, never angry, never complicated. When you failed their impossible tests, the coldness crept in. They withheld affection. They mocked, ignored, shamed. They played hot and cold until you stopped reaching out at all. You learned that being yourself was dangerous, so you stopped. When a person's love becomes a moving target and every little mistake is a sin, you start cutting off bits of yourself. You stop sharing goofy thoughts. You hold back your tears. You silence your anger. Your voice starts to fade, and eventually the world fades with it. There's this special kind of loneliness that comes from being with a narcissist. It's not regular loneliness, it's existential. You can have people all around you, but feel utterly, cosmically alone because the one person who was supposed to see you made a sport of not seeing you at all. They told you in every way that your real self was too much, not enough, unlovable. You start to believe it. You end up dead inside because you learned the hard way that caring only brought you pain. Feeling only made you vulnerable. So you turned off the faucet. But now everything is dry. Safe, sure, but lifeless. And look, I get it, you want to wake up. You want to care again. But it feels impossible. Every time you reach for joy, there's a voice in your head, a remnant of them saying, who do you think you are? Every time you try to reach for someone, that voice says, don't trust them, they'll just hurt you too. So you stay muted. You think that's what it takes to survive. But you know what? That numbness is not the end of your story. It's a chapter. It's a scar. It means you're a survivor, not a failure. Your mind and body kept you safe in the only way they could, by turning off the signals. And yes, it sucks, but it also means you still have a self worth protecting. The pain would have destroyed someone without your strength. You survived. Tonight, try something radical. Give yourself permission not to feel, just for now. Stop trying to force happiness or grief. Just be. Let yourself exist as you are, numb and all. Whisper to yourself, it's okay. I know why I feel nothing. I'm still here. Listen for the faintest echo of hope, that tiny piece of you that wants to come back. That's all you need to start. Not fireworks, not joy. Just the smallest flicker of wanting something more than nothing. That's the seed life grows from. That's the first green shoot under the ashes. You know what comes next. Little moments, a song that almost gets to you, a breeze that feels new, a moment alone that isn't empty but peaceful. Each one is proof you're coming back. The world won't always be this grey. You're not dead, you're healing. And healing can look like emptiness for a long, long time. Let that truth be your pillow tonight. Let it hold you until real feeling is safe again. Your spark is buried, but it's not gone. And one day soon you'll feel it burn. You've spent so long running on autopilot, watching life from the sidelines, that the idea of feeling alive again seems absurd. But here's the brutal truth. Your numbness was never permanent. It was a response, a survival hack your body and brain invented when the pain got too loud. Now that you're out of that toxic zone, you can let go of the hack and start wiring in a new default. Presence, curiosity, even joy. Tonight, let's practice one tiny, crazy experiment. When you wake in the dark, open your eyes and don't scroll your phone. Instead, reach down and place a hand on your belly, right where your lungs push out when you inhale. Feel it rise, feel it fall. That simple breath is proof you're alive. You're not a ghost drifting through other people's stories. You're here. You're real. Next time you eat, do it like it's your first taste of freedom. Take a bite and notice the texture, the crunch, the creaminess, the faint sweetness or salt. You don't have to turn it into a meditation or freak yourself out by overanalyzing. Just notice. You might be surprised when your tongue actually lights up at flavor, when your stomach notices hunger again, when a tiny spark flickers. Oh yeah, I do like chocolate. Now let's talk about the soundtrack of your life. You probably used to blast music in your car or your headphones to match your mood. Now everything feels flat. So pick one song you loved, something that made you move, something that made your chest vibrate, and crank it up. Really put it on like armor. Let that beat crash through the silence. It might feel strange at first, your body might resist, stiffen, say, no, that's too much. But lean into it. Let yourself tap a foot, sway an arm, nod your head. That small motion is a flicker of life. Celebrate it like you'd celebrate finding a penny on the street. You're learning how to feel through your body. Your senses are your gateway back. You might have ignored them to survive, but they haven't vanished. They're just waiting for you to notice again. Okay, now let's go deeper. Your mind is still wired to replay their voice. You're too emotional. You can't do anything right. You're nothing without me. Each clip is like an old ringtone that triggers shame. Let's purge them. Write down every single line you remember them saying that still hurts you. Get it all out. Every sneer, every insult, every sideways comment you swallowed. See it on paper. Read each one out loud to an empty room, to your pillow. Feel the ugliness of those words resonate just outside your body, not inside anymore. When you finish, tear the page up. Shred it. Burn it if you're safe. Destroy it with music or scissors. Symbolically break their hold. You can do this tomorrow, the next day, every time new lines bubble up. You're decluttering your mental attic, kicking out the squatters. Now talk to your inner child, that scared, hopeful version of you who believed the nicest thing anyone could say was, I love you. Picture them sitting across from you, eyes wide. What would you say to reassure them? You're safe now. They never deserved you. You're brilliant, you're creative, you're lovable. Whisper it, over and over. Let those words steal space in your head. Your inner child hears you, and bit by bit, they'll start to breathe easier. Boundaries still feel like heavy armor because you never wore them before. So repurpose a simple phrase, this doesn't work for me. No guilt, no explanation, just those 5 words. Practice in the mirror or under your breath at work when someone crosses a line. Every time you say them, you're flexing the muscle of self-respect. Each rep makes the phrase come out easier, like learning a new instrument. Soon you'll speak it without a tremor, and people will sense the shift. You're no longer a punching bag for disrespect. Let's add one more trick, micro-joy assignments. Each day, set a tiny challenge for yourself that involves feeling something pleasurable or stirring. It could be, today I will notice one beautiful thing, like a tree's silhouette or a stranger's smile. Or, today I will write down one thing I'm proud of. Or, today I will hug myself for 5 seconds. These small victories compound. They wire your brain to notice goodness, to harvest dopamine from small wins, to prove that feeling alive isn't impossible. It just takes practice. And when you drift back into that gray place where nothing matters, have an emergency kit ready. A playlist of defiant songs, a photo of your best laugh, a note you wrote years ago about a dream you still want to chase. When numbness rolls in, pull out an item and engage with it. Taste it, listen to it, read it. Dig in until the numbness blinks and gives you a peek at possibility again. Recovery isn't linear. Some mornings you'll wake buzzing with energy, and some nights you'll sink back into the void. That's fine. Keep showing up. Keep breathing. Keep reaching for sensations: cold water on your face, lo-fi beats in your headphones, coffee warming your palms. Each is an anchor in the present. Each is a gateway to feeling real again. In time, you'll notice the quiet pride in your chest. You'll remember what excitement feels like. You'll find yourself humming. You'll laugh at a joke until it hurts. You'll feel that familiar ache in your gut when you see something beautiful. You'll cry not from pain, but from relief, from remembering what it means to care again. Tonight, as you lie down, put a hand over your heart. Feel it thumping. It's not just a pump for blood. It's a drum calling you back to life. Whisper to it, "Thank you for hanging in there. I'm coming home." Then close your eyes and trust the process. Your spark is coming back. You earned it. You deserve it. And tomorrow you'll feel another flicker. And the next day another. Until one morning you wake up fully lit, fully charged, fully alive, and you'll know you never were dead inside, just waiting for this moment. You're here in the dark, wrestling with the silence. Your mind whispers every old lie they fed you. You're too much. You're nothing without me. No one else will ever love you like I do. Those ghosts still rattle your skull, but tonight you're stronger. Tonight you can turn those whispers into fuel. Feel your body sinking into the mattress. Notice how your back makes the imprint of yourself. That impression is proof you exist. You leave traces. You have weight in the world. Even if your spirit feels light, your body has substance. It grounds you. Let gravity hold you like a friend. Now think of one small thing you survived today. Maybe you got out of bed. Maybe you drank water. Maybe you stared at the sky for a moment and felt the breeze. You survived. That's a victory. Let it settle. Feel it glow somewhere behind your ribs. You earned that survival. No one can take it from you. Flash your mind forward. Imagine you in 6 months, not perfect but present, feeling a breeze on your skin and registering it, hearing a friend laugh and cracking a real smile, sipping coffee in the morning and your gut humming with pleasure. It's not fantasy, it's possible, because every day you practice feeling, you get closer. Your inner critic will spike a protest. That's too far ahead, you'll never feel that again. Answer back, watch me. Picture yourself speaking that to your reflection, someday voice steady, eyes clear. That vision is a beacon. It doesn't have to burn bright now. It just needs to be there, soft and unwavering. Tonight, give yourself permission to let the pain sit beside you without guessing what it means. Feel the ache of emptiness, but don't swallow it. Let it be a visitor, not a tenant. Acknowledge it. I see you, pain. You tried to keep me down, but tonight I'm the host. Your mind will bristle, but that ownership is the first crack in its control. As you drift, keep a mental tally of micro joys from today. The warmth of the sun on your neck, the taste of that first sip of water, the blur of leaves outside the window. Each moment is a thread. You're weaving yourself back together, stitch by stitch. If your breath hitches, don't shame it. That's your body's alarm telling you something matters. Breathe into it like you would a child's fears, slow, gentle, reassuring. I'm here, you're safe. You might not believe it yet, but say it until your chest starts to relax. Your body takes orders even when your mind rebels. When the old taunts swirl in your head, no one will save you. You'll end up alone. Imagine them as graffiti on a wall. Those words have no power over you unless you let them. You're carrying a mental eraser. Take it out, scrub at the letters, watch them fade. It's messy, it's slow, but every scrape is liberation. Now think of someone who truly cared, someone whose kindness was real, whose words didn't cut. See their face, hear their voice. Let that warmth fill the hollow. You are worthy of that warmth. You deserve it. Let it sink into your bones. You can plant the seed of real trust again. It starts small: a hug from a friend, a kind text, a moment of vulnerability that feels safe. Each one is a brick in the bridge back to yourself. You don't need a flood of trust. You just need a steady drip until your reservoir refills. As sleep coaxes you down, notice how your eyelids feel heavy. That heaviness is not defeat, it's release. You're letting go of constant vigilance. You're letting the night carry you. Let it. You've earned rest more than ever before. Tomorrow, when you open your eyes, welcome the world with that same gentle curiosity you practiced today. Scan your room like it's a gallery of small miracles. See every object as proof that you're breathing, you're here, you're part of the picture. You might feel numb again. That's okay. Remind yourself, numbness is not a tomb, it's a cocoon. You've spent weeks, months, maybe years building this protective shell. Tonight, let it soften. Let your new habits, the breath work, the micro joys, the inner pep talks chisel it away, grain by grain. You don't need to be whole in one night. You only need to show up. You only need to place one foot in front of the other. Each step is a declaration. I matter. I feel. I choose life. Right now, as you slip under the covers, whisper this promise to yourself. I will remember tomorrow. I will notice. I will breathe. I will feel. Those aren't demands. They're reminders that you still have agency. You still have choice. So rest. Let your body sink. Let your mind wander through safe landscapes, sunlit fields, quiet beaches, warm kitchens. Let your heart stall its panic because you're protected here. Sleep is not a surrender. It's your secret weapon. It's when your mind files away the winds of the day. It's when your body rebuilds what was torn down. It's when your soul listens to its own whisper, far beneath the ghosts of their voices. Tonight, you sleep not as a victim, not as a ghost, but as a warrior finally allowed to lay down arms. You fight tomorrow, but tonight you rest. And as you drift, know this, your spark is rekindling. Your spark never truly died. It just waited, quietly burning for you to come back. Good night, good rest, good you.